Hello and welcome to Coffee with the Angels. I'm Katie Kiefer of awakentheinnerlight.com and coffeewiththeangels.com. So Coffee with the Angels is a writing exercise that I do each morning. And I just sit down with my first cup of coffee and tune in and ask the angels what we're talking about. Sometimes it's a little bit of work to focus, but once it gets started, it gets flowing really nicely most of the time. So today is March 29th, 2018. And today we're talking about balance. And it was really interesting because I'm like, what are we talking about today? What's going on? And I was like, nothing was flowing in. And then all of a sudden I heard balance. And I'm like, okay, so I'm waiting for the first sentence. And they said, just write the word balance. And so I did. And then it started to flow. So that was a little different, but kind of cool. So this practice will shift and change. How this gets shared out will shift and change. And if you find value in it and would like to share it, please feel free to do so. Whether it's from the Facebook page, the Facebook group. The Facebook page is Awaken the Inner Light. You'll look for that. The group is Facebook.com/groups/Coffee with the Angels. And you can join the group if you're interested. And I'm hoping that we will have some conversations and interaction there. It just got started yesterday, so we're just beginning to build the group, and we'll just kind of see where it goes. I trust that it will be divinely led. So, the angels say, balance has been misunderstood, overused, under and overrated. You require balance in your life. Your body requires balance to stay in good health. Good balance between waking and resting hours helps you have excellent energy. Balance between work and play is necessary, lest either become boring. What is important to understand is that we are not suggesting that you lessen, dampen, or diminish anything. Work to your full capacity. Play to your full capacity. Sleep and rest as you truly need, and use your waking hours to the fullest. Get your chakras wide open. Get your meridians flowing fully. This in itself will create balance. Remember that your body requires balance of biochemistry for proper function. Too much of a hormone, too little of a nutrient, and your health goes into jeopardy. In this sense, it is vital to recognize the dial up and dial back form of balance. In the physical body, extremes can be damaging. When you look at and regard balance with contempt, skepticism, or disregard, you are also telling your body that same message. Balance is necessary for human life. Even going to extremes, when well done, creates a balance. Universal law dictates balance. Harmony can only be achieved when balance is treated with care. Fair exchange can only be decided when balance is accounted for. We encourage you to upgrade your understanding of balance and honor it. Your life, your endeavors, your relationships will all benefit from you honoring balance. And so that's what the angels had to say. And so I actually went and looked it up in the 7 Planes of Existence book, because that talks about the 7 planes. It's by Vienna Stibal. It is one of the classes that is available in the Theta Healing Technique. It is a more advanced class, and I haven't taken that one yet. But I have the book because there's just so much good information there, and it's wonderful. So there is a universal law of balance. And so what seems to have happened is that we've ended up with a misunderstanding of what balance is. And it may not be a misunderstanding. It may be more of a too small of a view. So it's bigger and has more facets to it than we've given it credit for. It is important that we keep our bodies in balance. We need to have that state where between acidic and alkaline. Too far either way will create a dis-ease. You want to be in that range of balance that's healthy and conducive to your health. You want to have your nutrients be balanced in a proper way so that everything is used properly. Yet, when it comes to other things like our chakras, we don't want to close any of it down, because that's not what balance is there. Balance there is having them completely open and all of them in harmony, which in itself will create a balance. And so we can have extremes of things that might look like opposite ends of the spectrum. And so, like, we can end up having, for instance, extreme grief and extreme joy in the appropriate situations, and that itself will create a balance. And there's so much here that is appropriate. We tend to work to avoid sadness. We want to avoid grief. We want to avoid anger and fear. There's so much of that. And it's not necessarily that we need to completely avoid those. It's more like we need to be sure that we can use them only appropriately, where it is appropriate. I mean, if you have a family member or someone you care about, people pass away, people cross over, people move, there's going to be sadness. It's a matter of keeping it in that appropriateness, and also being able to find and have joy and happiness in your life. Even where there might be sadness, it's not necessarily just finding the silver lining of the cloud, but being able to experience the full range. And that in itself will create a healthy balance for you. And there's an emotional wellness there. And when we have emotional, mental wellness, that also helps support our physical health and wellness. And so it also really helps with the spiritual wellness. So this is what's coming in, is that spiritual wellness and mental and emotional wellness are interlinked. And our physical health and wellness is interlinked with that. And so there's just multifaceted pieces of us. We have all these different aspects, and it is important to have them in harmony. Well, to have harmony, we have to have a balance, which means allowing all of them to come into perfect play and perfect harmony without needing to reduce any of them out of fear or out of distress for anything like that. So I hope that you found this informative and interesting, and don't knock balance. It's not overrated. It's not underrated. It's important. It is a universal law. And, if you're in business for yourself, or actually, it's not even if you're in business for yourself, anytime you purchase a product, anytime you purchase a service, the law of balance is at play, because you're looking at a fair exchange. And anytime you're asking somebody to reduce their prices inappropriately, you're tipping the balance and you're coming out of balance. So it's really important to just pay attention to that. And that's an example of how that can work and how balance can be disrupted, because it's when in those kinds of situations, when you're interacting with others, there is a level of fairness that is important to pay attention to. And the law of balance is inherent in that. Okay, so I'm just checking in. Feels like that's good. We're done. And I thank you for spending time here with me today. And please remember that you can go to the blog. The blog is coffeewiththeangels.com, and view other videos. And also in each one, just the text of the angel message is written out. So those are available for you as well. And if you go to the bottom of the blog pages, you will see that there are links for what I call a cuppa, which is basically a free consultation. And there's also healing sessions and intuitive readings. So if you're feeling a little off balance or out of kilter, um, we can do a reading or a healing session and see what it is that we can do to help get you back on track. Or if you are on track, even if it feels like you're a little out of balance and off kilter, you can still be on the right track. And so the intuitive readings are really good for information, and the healing sessions are really good for digging in and clearing blocks and shifting out of limiting belief systems and bringing in higher perspective that is energy work. And you can visit awakentheinnerlight.com as well and click on the Work with Katie tab, and you'll see information there that can take you, that'll take you to other pages where you can take a look and see if that might be something interesting to you. So I hope you have a fantastic day. And again, if you have found interest or value in this video or in the text, please feel free to share it. And subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, because that way you'll get notified every time there's, well, it should be every time you get, if you sign up for the notifications, you'll get notified when new Coffee with the Angels is posted. So that said, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.